All right, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about growing your brand through social media. This is something that I've kind of been focusing on a lot more since April, especially when I had a little bit more time at home. I started spending about 1 hour per day really focusing on lead generating through Instagram. And of course, that kind of trickled over into Facebook and some LinkedIn and things like that, but I really focused on Instagram myself. Since then, I received about 10 really good leads through Instagram. I also gained 300 followers or so that all live in Portland. So that's 300 more eyes that live in Portland looking at what I'm, posting and things like that. These are people that I would never have, met without just reaching out to them on Instagram. And then in the last couple of months, I also referred a friend who ended up buying a home in Nebraska. So I got a referral fee for that. And then I also helped one brand new client buy a home last week, closed last week through Instagram as well. So yeah, so lead gen really can be, through social media really can be lucrative if you can be patient with it. So first of all, why do I need an online presence? Online presence, I think we're all aware, is really important. It helps us connect with our sphere of influence, our community, and colleagues in a really efficient way. We are able to update everyone regarding, maybe business or personal life events all at once, as opposed to calling all of our contacts being like, hey, I got engaged. You can just post one picture and you get a couple hundred people, congratulating you, saying they're excited for you, whatever it may be. And then another big factor is, of course, prospective clients are going to look you up online. I don't think any of my clients, I'm trying to think. I would imagine most of my clients, if not all of them, have looked me up on Instagram, Facebook, at LinkedIn. I know that I just got added to LinkedIn to 2 of my brand new clients last week. So they're out there, they're looking at us. They want to see that we have experience. So they want to see our reviews. They want to see that we also have a personality. So that's a big factor. And, of course, you want to keep things professional on all social media. Most of your potential clients don't want to see that you're binge drinking or, smoking weed or anything like that. Like I do see a lot of people posting about on social media, but so I always try to keep mine relatively professional. But yeah, so engage with followers and your community. It's really important to provide market updates. Everyone, or at least people that I'm friends with, definitely are curious about how the real estate market is doing, especially right now during the coronavirus times. People are always asking me how the Portland market's doing. I'm getting a lot of people reaching out from different cities, whether they're other real estate agents or just my friends and family, trying to see how we're doing up here. And then also you want to be able to tell people about your business and show them that you're human. That's an important aspect, like I said. And then another thing that I think is really important, and something I used to do a lot in high school, is I used to get in a lot of heated arguments about, politics, religion, whatever it may be. But I've really dialed back on that, and I still express myself. I still express my viewpoints. Like you can see, I posted a picture of myself at the protest a few days ago, and I was happy to do that. I also posted the Blackout Tuesday because I do, want to express my own personal beliefs. And that's me being genuine and connecting with people that have some similar beliefs as me. Instagram and Facebook tips. So these are a few things that I really like to focus on. Do not neglect the story function. A lot of people are actually looking at stories as opposed to, the actual timeline. So I've been really focusing a little bit more on stories, posting about 3 to 7 times per day on the story, and then, maybe posting once on my timeline per day, but usually it's like 1 to 2 times a week. Because I just really want to post quality content and not just, random photos of my food or something like that. This story on the right-hand side was about staging, and that had a lot of engagement. I had over 60 responses to that poll, and then I also got 25 people responding to me directly and saying like, oh my gosh, that's terrible staging. Why would anyone do that? Why would someone pay money for that, et cetera. And I also, I went in to the 60 people that responded. There are about 7 or 8 that I had never talked to before. So I actually reached out to them directly and just try to introduce myself. Basically, I saw that they weren't following me. They probably just saw me at some point. So reached out to them directly and said, hey, I'm real estate in Portland. I'm kind of just trying to see who they are and why they decided to respond to my poll. Let's see. Another thing that I see people doing a lot is buying followers or likes. There's one real estate agent that I follow. He has like over 200,000 followers, but he only has about 50 likes per post. So it's really clear that he's just buying all of those followers, and that just makes him look kind of really dumb in my opinion. I don't understand why someone would buy followers. What I want is people that are actually engaging in what I'm posting, and people that are actually interested, and especially people that primarily live in the Portland area. That's who I'm targeting, of course. But yeah, I definitely think it's a good idea to use polls and questions to engage your audience, and primarily through stories. When I, like I said about the staging one, but I'll post things about different houses or styles of houses, have people choose which style's their favorite, and I get a lot of engagement on things like that. So basically, anytime I'm showing a property, I'm looking for things that might interest my clients. And I also would like to point out things that are issues, like foundation issues or issues that they may not see, like a roof or something like that. And I just like to point that out to them so they can look at their own homes and be like, oh, okay, my roof looks good, or oh, maybe I should get my roof cleaned off or something like that. Cool. Yeah, so Instagram for lead gen. One of the best ways to develop leads is to look for the different hashtags in your area. So I'm following things like hashtag Portland, Oregon, hashtag Southeast Portland, because that's the area that I want to focus on. And then more recently, I'm looking at buying a place in Mount Scott, Arletta neighborhood. So I'm looking at that specific location and geotag, and I am, basically liking or commenting on all of the photos, on all of the posts in that general area, because I think, those are people that I'm going to want to connect with. I want to get involved in that community, and I want them to know who I am. So if they're putting hashtags on their posts, it's kind of fair game. Most people are not like shocked that I'm liking like five or six of their photos. They're like, oh, that's nice. And that's genuinely how I've gotten the leads in the past. I basically spammed people, and I liked 5 to 10 of their posts, their most recent posts. I only like the ones that I actually like, because I don't want to be disingenuous. But once I do that, then I usually get someone saying, hey, saw that you liked a bunch of my photos. Then they reach out, they might follow me, or whatever it may be. So I'm helping 2 people get pre-approved right now that I just met last week, which is pretty awesome as well. Let's see, use up to about 20 hashtags on your posts. The more specific, the better. So like I said, if you are looking in the Mount Scott, Arletta neighborhood, use that specific hashtag. If you're more focused on Beaverton, use that hashtag, or Tigard, Tualatin, Southwest Portland, Northwest Portland, Hillsborough, whatever it may be. You can plug in that hashtag, and then you're going to get people that are in that area looking at your posts. And then, yeah, I don't necessarily post a ton about my business. I do mainly in my story, but I also like to post a lot about my community, and then I add that location. So again, other people can look me up. I get a lot of businesses looking me up and being like, oh, cool, another business in the area. So yeah, you can talk about different golf courses that you're at. It won't be me, but I like to talk about all the parks and restaurants I go to and things like that. And basically one of the biggest things I can say is don't be shy. Feel free to comment on a stranger's post. If their profile's not private and they use hashtags, they will likely appreciate people commenting and engaging with them. It's kind of like you're just at a bar, and if you see something interesting or see someone you want to talk to, just talk to them. Yeah, so make sure everyone knows what you do. And this goes for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of your profiles. You want to make sure that your sphere is aware of what you do and all of the work that you do to get from, you know, meeting someone to the closing table. I
Hey, Jacob,
kind of realized.
I had a quick question on the last slide. Do you typically like follow a lot of people?
I think I'm following about.
That, like, there's a lot of people that will like follow and then to get you to follow back, and then they'll like unfollow you.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't do that. I basically will comment on people's posts, and I will follow them if I think there's someone I would actually like to follow. And then if they don't follow me back, I actually don't worry about it. I know that a lot of people care about their follower to following ratio. I think I'm probably following 900, and I probably have about 1,200 followers. I just don't really care, and I'm not the type of person that wants to follow someone just so they would follow me and then unfollow them. If I notice that someone I'm not really interested in their posts is not following me and I don't care about their posts anymore, I'll just unfollow them. But I do kind of do an audit of that, and if I realize that I'm engaging with their posts and I'm not that committed to what they're posting and they're not following me, I will kind of do like pretty much a monthly audit where I'll just go through and see if these people are talking back to me. If not, I will just unfollow them. So I guess I am conscious of the follower to following ratio, but it's not something I focus on too much. I would be fine if it's about even. If I have 10,000 followers and I'm following 10,000 people, I'd be totally fine with that. But yeah, so making sure that everybody knows what you're doing. A lot of my friends would be like, oh, you know, I saw HGTV and it looks like what you're doing is really cool, really fun. It's, you know, glamorous. And they also think it's an easy job. So I like to talk to them about why I don't feel like it's an easy job. For instance, a couple of days ago, I posted on my story that I spent 2 hours cleaning before I handed off the keys to my client. And a lot of people are like, wow, I had no idea real estate agents did that. My client was incredibly impressed. His whole family got there while I was still cleaning the house. And I was in the process of like deep cleaning this disgusting fridge. And they're like, that really sucks that the sellers left it that way, but thank you so much. And then he pretty much immediately gave me a really good review. And so that's kind of, you know, one of the best ways of getting more business is good reviews, and people, you know, he's definitely going to talk to other people about me as well. So, and actually, yeah, 2 days ago, I just got a lead from a past client that talked really highly of me. And like I said, I don't usually post too much about business on my timeline, but you can see here, I posted about three of my most recent reviews, and I got a lot of people reaching out saying like, oh my gosh, of course you are such a good real estate agent, blah, blah, blah. And it's really nice for them to be able to say that to me, and for me to see these reviews and be really proud of them. And yeah, I'm okay with tooting my own horn when people are impressed with the work that I do. And this actual review post is one of the main ones that got my last client to reach out to me and be like, hey, I would really like to use you. It looks like you do a great job. And it's because I posted those 3 reviews on my timeline. Yeah, so like I said, ask reviews, post them on social media. I posted this one to Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And then make sure that you're linking all of your websites or all of your social media back to your website, just so they can easily see kind of what you're doing, and see a more professional side of you as well. But yeah, that is it, I believe. Yeah, just my face. I meant to add more on that slide, but I guess I didn't. That's me. Any questions, guys?
Nope. How much time do you devote to this a week?
So kind of depends. Usually it's time that I'm already spending watching Netflix or something like that. But I do try to do about an hour a day, just because once I post a lot on my story, that's kind of when I go through and will start liking other people's posts, because they're super, super easy for them to be like, oh, that's weird, this guy just spammed me. And then they'll click on my face and it automatically takes them to my story. And so I did this yesterday and I got over 400 people that looked at my story from yesterday. And so that's, you know, probably about 200 to 250 people that would not have looked at my story already.
Do you typically do it on your phone or your computer, or what works best?
Definitely the phone works best, because like I said, I like to do it while I'm watching Netflix or something, because I literally just scroll through and double tap. I kind of just do it until it tells me I can't double tap anymore, because at some point it will say that you are spamming people and it cuts you off. So I've kind of learned to just keep going until I can't anymore, and then I'm done.
What would you say your most, or the most contacts are coming from? Is it Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, definitely Instagram. I'm also on Facebook as well, and I try to connect with people on there, but it's a little bit weirder to friend people on Facebook, because that's like they have to commit to you being their friend. And whereas on Instagram, you can follow somebody and they can either choose to follow you back or not. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed that it's just a lot less weird that way. And I do think that Instagram's also a bit more of a public, public facing, and I, from what I post on Facebook, it's a little bit more private. So that's what I'd probably suggest doing. Although I do like to be in all of the groups possible on Facebook. And that's, again, how I got the deal that we're in contract to buy, is because I connected with someone through a Facebook group who got me in touch with the seller, and then they ended up posting it on, you know, the market, but I still got that first conversation with the seller, and was able to move forward first.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have templates for the messages that you send?
Honestly, no, because I like to make sure everything is very personal. That's kind of what I don't know. I like to talk about what they posted first, and then after that, I might move forward. Like I started following someone, a chef owner of a vegan sushi restaurant, because I'm vegan and I love sushi. So I followed her, and then she followed me back, and she just recently talked, this morning, because I followed her literally last night, and this morning she was like, oh, hey, you're in Southeast Portland too. And I was like, yeah, let's meet up sometime. I'd love to go have some of your sushi. So I'm probably going to meet up with her sometime this week. Cool. And that's just a new friend that's already connected with the community, because she's a chef owner of a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. I am going to keep, charging forward with this whole Instagram thing, and I kind of like it a lot. Have any of you guys jumped into the world of TikTok?
No.
One of my good friends has like over 200,000 followers, and he's a real estate agent in California. And I'm like, oh gosh, maybe I should, but I don't want to. That's just a whole nother platform that I'm not familiar with, and I don't have the time to be. So
I would say your lead demographic in that app would be between the age range of 10 and 13 years old. So
there's actually a lot of people over 40 on TikTok, and my friend in California, like I said, he has over 200,000 followers, and all he posts is real estate stuff or dances or whatever to engage people. But he is averaging about 10 deals per month. And he says about 25 to 50% of that comes from TikTok and social media in general, of course.
I'll dance for deals.
Yeah, I will dance for deals. Happy to.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I have not even ventured into TikTok. Well, cool. Any other questions?
Good world.
So, can I make a couple of comments on your social media thing, Jacob?
Totally. Yeah.
So when you're doing hashtags, a couple of helpful tips are the first 3 and the last 3 hashtags that you use are going to be the ones that get seen the most and that people are actually going to click on. So it's always helpful to make those a little bit more eye-catching. Throw in something comical, something serious, and something interesting. And so the first 3, the last 3, and then I keep on my notes on my phone just a big chunk of middle hashtags that are relatively the same.
Yeah.
And then I always change the first 3 and the last 3 for every post.
Yeah, I've got the same kind of 15 hashtag, or no, it's probably more like 12 hashtags, and then I do change some things up, like the actual park that I'm at, or the part of Portland I'm in, or something like that. But yeah, I like that. Comical, interesting, or serious.
Yeah. And then, or informative. And then if you guys aren't familiar with doing Instagram posts, if you separate your lines by just doing like a period and then the next line, usually you can do, 2 or 3 periods for line breaks. It makes it easier for people to read.
Yeah.
And then just make sure that your posts also provide, they're not just all real estate based or serious based. Like they're also providing like, oh, here's a recipe I thought you might find interesting, because then people will see that and they'll go back to your page to find that idea or that content or that recipe. And they'll keep revisiting you instead of it being, oh, here's a picture of like a house and everyone is a house or a deal. They have no reason to go back and see the deals that you did, but they have a reason to go back and see the recipe or the lamp fixture or something.
Yeah. So like I said, I post some personal things. I have, real estate posts, and then I post a lot of, views of the city because I love to go on walks and I love to go on hikes. So that's something I'm passionate about, and other people like to live vicariously through me, which is a friend just told me today. I love to live vicariously through your Oregon experience, which is pretty cool. And then
do you have a separate business page? Sorry.
No. So that's what I would say is, if you definitely have a business page, a business Instagram, it's very easy to just switch over to a business Instagram. But this is my personal and business Instagram. I kind of keep them the same because I want people to, engage with me and know who I am as a person. I want to work with people that like me, and if they don't, then they can move on.
Same with your Facebook too. Do you have just your personal?
I do have a Facebook business page, because that can be public, and I think my personal Facebook page is a little bit more private.
Okay.
And the Facebook business page has, reviews and the about me, and it's quite a bit different. So I definitely like to have the separation between public and private there.
When you have a business Facebook page too, you can also create groups, and they're like friend groups, and you can choose who your posts go out to based on the friend groups. So you can say, this goes to everyone, or this only goes to, the people from this group or this group. And so you can kind of pick and choose a little bit better for your Facebook posts.
Absolutely.
Cool. Anything else?
Yeah.
Good work,
Nothing for
Jacob.
me.
That
Guys,
was very, very informational. I think, I got a lot out of it. So.
Cool.